Hello everybody, it's your boy N here. I'm coming at you guys with another YouTube video. So in today's video, it's going to be a Serena build. For Wallcrasher at least, Serena's bossing setup has kind of changed and it's become, well, a lot more optimized. So let's get right on into the setup for this build. Starting off with Serena, we are going to, let's just get started with the maneuvering module. So because you fly with Serena, you're definitely going to want to go with mid-air maneuvering, just because this is going to allow you to use your grapple and allow you to move around in the air a little bit better. Next up, red mod. You can use the Heim red mod, but it's not really needed. So in this instance, we are not going to be going with any red mod with Serena. Now, with Serena, ideally you want to build for cooldown and for duration, and of course for a lot of health. So let's start off with some cooldown on her. With cooldown, you just want to run MP conversion, and you'll just want to run nimble fingers, and this should basically be enough. Next up, we are going to be using multi-talented, so the good old Serena loop is going to be returning. Next up, let's build for health. So with health for Serena, we start off with overwhelming HP. So this is going to knock our shield to only stay at 1, but will allow us to build up significantly more whenever it comes to other stuff. We're going to go with the increased modules, and specifically increase shield as well as increase HP. This will allow us to scale our health up significantly more. So we'll start off with that. Next up, we are still scaling health up even higher, so we will be going with stim accelerant as well for this, and we will also be using shot focus for a touch of extra damage with Serena. Now, the only other thing that you need on Serena is, of course, duration. So duration is going to be the final touch on this build, and we are going to use skill extension and maximize duration. Fairly easy, right? For the trigger module, we are going to be going with Kuiper hollow points. This is just going to give you more damage whenever this does proc on a weak point. So we're just going to go with a blue gold for the highest trigger rate. The more base recoil, the more damage technically, or something like that. So that's what we are going to be going with. Now let's have a look at the other parts of the Serena build, which includes the reactor and the external components. Before we do that though, real quick, we're going to quickly have a look at the weapons. Now, the weapons for this build is going to be 3 weapons in a specific order. Weapon number 1 is going to be the Perforator. Weapon number 2 is going to be the Greg's Reversed Fate. And then weapon number 3 is going to be the Last Dagger. So that is going to be our 3 weapons of choice. For the reactor, it doesn't really matter what reactor it is. It doesn't need to be fire. It doesn't need to be dimension. The only thing you need on the reactor is cooldown and duration up. And that's pretty much it. Just Serena wants to max out her cooldown and her duration. So reactor going towards that is going to be all you need. Now for the external components, we're going with 2 2-piece sets. So the first 2-piece we are going with is going to be 2 pieces of the Ascending Armory set. So we're going to go with that right off the bat. Next up, we are going to go with 2 pieces of Shell Crusher. So Shell Crusher is going to be here so that we can get our fire rate going absolutely ridiculous with Serena. So that's going to be the main things. With the actual substats on here, you're going to want max HP and MP recovery out of combat, max MP, MP recovery in combat, MP recovery modifier and defense or electric resistance, and then max shield would be better, and then toxic resistance and shield recovery modifier. Any one of those 3 is all good. The important part of Serena is in fact these health cores that you can slap on. Ideally you want to get them as high as you can. If you've got thousands of your health cores, re-roll and get yourself ideally above 37% would be the best for your DPS. If you can max stat them, do that as well. And for your blue core, you just want to go with defense for the Serena anyways, so that should be nice and easy. Now for your tree for Serena, it's going to be something pretty standard. We're going to go with some health off the bat, then we're going to go all the way to the right, and we are going to go all the way up here to this enhanced firearm attack. From here we will be going all the way up to even more firearm attack. Then we'll go from here all the way up to defense neutralization, just so that we can do way more DPS with Serena. Then we'll go down over here to the Colossus, and then we will also grab the crit rate from here, And then we've just got one additional node left. You just want to slap that over here for the enhanced affinity damage, and you're basically good to go on Serena. Now the weapons, specifically these weapons, let's have a look at them. So this is the cores and substats that you are going to want to go with. 60% fire rate is very, very important on the perforator, so make sure you get that down. For your substats, multi-hit chance and damage, as well as crit damage and Colossus is going to be important. For your actual mods on the perforator, you will want to go with something like this. I've slightly changed mine, actually. I'm kind of cooked. So I've gone with electricity on the perforator. This is specifically just in case a Sharon decides to spawn in. And if a Sharon spawns in, you will be doing electrical damage, and Sharon does skill debuff, but you know, on the odd chance a Sharon spawns in, this will just be nice. And the element doesn't really matter too much on Warcrasher anyways, just because it is a Legion of Breach mob. So next weapon is going to be the Greg. Again, 20% fire rate is very, very important over here. We've got a damage to the Colossus core on here too. Then we're going with multi-hit chance, weak point damage, crit damage, and Colossus damage as well on the cores. And then for your stats on the Greg, this is what you are going to want to go. Main things being overwhelm, of course, because you do want to overwhelm the Warcrasher. Haha, haha, ha, ha. Okay. Moving on to the next one. The last dagger, you are very familiar with this at this point. Again, element is completely your own choice. Double 20% fire rates is very, very, very key. And yeah, crit rate, element, crit damage, Colossus, fairly simple on the dagger. For your actual dagger build, this is what you are going to want to go with. So yeah, I'm going to kill my Twitch chat in a minute, but yeah, these are what you want to go. Make sure to include Tenacious Hunter as well. For your inversions, you would want to go with skill cost, health, and honestly, the inversions don't matter too much, so you can go with anything, but this is just what I've gone with. Next up, let's have a look at the Ancestor mod. Now, Serena, ideally, if you do have a look at her damage, you can see her damage will scale off her 4th ability, which is also based off the max health that you have with Serena. Serena's cap, I believe, is 39,000 for absolute max DPS. So the main thing you would kind of want to look for on an Ancestor mod is the following. You would definitely want to look for max HP as high as you can get it, and then you would also want to grab yourself cooldown or ideally duration up. I'd say max HP is the most important stat, then duration up is the second most important stat, cooldown being a third, or even skill cost wouldn't be too bad. Harmless negative like shield or something with Serena is going to be nice as well. You can see here I have 39.3k, so in terms of health and everything, this is perfectly good for me. Now let me show you the gameplay loop with Serena specifically. So with the gameplay loop, I'll just spawn Warcrasher in real quick. It's gonna be the following. You're going to want to proc your multi-talented first. So ideally you're going to want to go up, use your 4th ability, start flying, and then just spray Warcrasher in his knee. Once your ammo runs out, you change to the next weapon, and then you keep spraying, and then you keep spraying again. Once your 3rd weapon is up, the dagger will do its first burst, and then it'll keep it going just like that. This is when you'd want to start dashing to the side, and then basically doing it again. Because all 3 of the weapons are different types, it doesn't make a difference, and one dash will basically fix all your problems here. You can see even with actual Warcrasher here, even in lab, I am melting him in terms of health and stuff like that. So you can only imagine how practical this will be inside of an actual lobby. So this is basically what you just do with Warcrasher, and you want to make sure you're hitting weak points and stuff like that. Make sure your 4th ability stays up as well, because that's going to be where all your damage is hiding, of course. So that's pretty much just what you'd want to do with this anyways. Drop the loop, but I don't really care. So let me just quickly show you some gameplay of Serena, and well, pretty much what you would actually want to do. So let me go on into my files. There you go. So this is a run that I just did on Warcrasher, like 10 minutes ago. So let's quickly show you guys what you have over here. So over here, right off the bat, this is what you would expect. So this is a solo run. I just spawned into Warcrasher on my own, just a complete random lobby. Shout out to the Luna that's called the Kebab Devourer, because honestly, I gotta respect it. I've actually got to respect the Kebab Devourer. No idea why my recording is lagging so much, but this is kind of just what you'd expect. You just basically do this, and I don't know why this is lagging so much. This is cooked. I think my gameplay was just tweaking at the time. But you can see in general that you just basically spray, you move to your next weapon, make sure your Serena loop stays up, and you keep spraying it in general. So you just... Shut up, Abu Sweet. You'll just keep spraying the weak points on the wall crasher. I don't know why my video recording is lagging so hard. This is actually cooked, unless the bitrate was just dying whilst I was doing the fight. But this is just what you would do. You can see Serena propaganda because everyone's going down and I'm just doing a ton of DPS. And yeah, that's just kind of what you'd expect. Just keep spraying his limbs and his weak points, and just keep rotating your weapon, keep your Serena loop up and keep your ability up, and you're basically good to go. At the end of this very, very choppy run, visually choppy run, I managed to hit around about a 1.6 billion damage inside of a pub's lobby. So that's just a quick example of what's possible with this. If you do, however, slap on a team composition, this is what you would expect as well. This is actually very cooked. Yeah, this is cooked. Okay, yeah, so wait, you can't even see the bloody thing. Right, never mind. Right, let's get rid of that. Let's just full screen it. Yeah, there you go. So this is gameplay from my homie Colt, an actual Serena player. So this is what he got as well when he ran this in public. I also see my homie Quantoxy's in the lobby. But just in general, same story. It's still cooked in terms of laggy gameplay. I don't know why recording in Wall Crasher fight is just making my ass lag. But yeah, just in general, you'd expect around about the same. Just, you can do more DPS in a shorter period of time. It depends on how capable your teammates are. If your teammates have the same IQ as a fucking brick, you can do plenty of DPS. Frame generation lag, that makes sense. Okay, that makes sense. But yeah, you can see the DPS that Colt managed to pull off in a random public lobby as well. He managed to hit around 1.2 billion in a 46-second wall crasher, which he spawned in late to. However, if you do want to go all in and you formulate a team for this, so using a Sharon for debuffing the electric DPS, using a Nell with Firebrand to shoot the Enduring Legacy to debuff a fire DPS, and use an Enzo to give Serena full crits, Serena can also go kind of ballistic in terms of her DPS as well. I'll show you what I mean in a second. So this is a run with myself on Sharon, and my homie Apocalyptos on Enzo, and my other homie Al on Nell. And inside this run, apart from the lag that we were getting whenever I was casting an ability, you will see that Wall Crasher got absolutely annihilated. And you'd think that this is probably the Freyna doing this, right? But no, this is Colt. This is the Serena that is melting the Wall Crasher very, very hard. And honestly, it's just about, well, maintaining Serena. I think at this point, a lot of people have already invested quite hard in Serena. So it's an easy thing for them to say that, you know, just change your Serena build up a little bit, invest in the weapons, or reroll your weapons for Serena, and you'll get significantly better results whilst bossing in Wall Crasher. There is something you can run with the Perforator as well. Slap on a little bit of electricity and you will be able to also make some form of a variation of a Grim Reaper build, but that's not really important, and we are focusing more on Serena Wall Crasher. So that's pretty much everything in today's video, guys, and I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you did, please do smash that like button, and if you are new here, please do consider subscribing. I make plenty of videos on the first Descendant, and at the end of a 1 minute and 2 second run, Colt hit just shy of 3 billion damage with Serena. So there you go. That's pretty much all of the accolades you need to know about this anyways. So yeah, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.